Good afternoon. I am joining you with coffee today. So, how's it going?
It's good. I'm wearing my Tansha Hokinson boot camp shirt, grit, this
Love
morning.
it.
I'm excited for boot camp. Are you excited for boot camp? Coming up, a couple
I
weeks,
am
right?
excited for boot camp. 2 weeks from today, we kick it off. It's
Two,
3 days, 3 days of content.
3 days of intensive training. I love boot camp. Even though we're not getting together, it's still cool, even virtually. So, and we are going to be vastly improved from the last virtual one. We've learned from the surveys to improve for this one. But for those new people that don't even know who are we?
So, Land Geeks, we are land investors. We buy and sell land. We buy land for pennies on the dollar, turn around and sell it, either for cash or for terms. So terms means owner financing, and it generates a passive income stream for us. And the entire goal, as you say a lot, Mark, is to get to the point where your passive income from land investing exceeds your fixed expenses. And when you get to that point in life, all kinds of opportunities open up as far as anything, right? You can work where you want, you can quit your job, spend more time with your family. It's awesome.
It's amazing. It's all about total. We're just using land investing as a vehicle to become totally free to work when you want, where you want, and with whom you want, and really unplug from the matrix, essentially. I mean, we've got people who do this all over the world. They travel. All you need is an inexpensive laptop and an internet connection. You're in business. And it's so funny. I was talking to Roberto Chavez. He's at 20 grand a month now, passive.
That's amazing.
And for him, like, he's a full time attorney. He went back to cut down to 3 days a week. And I'm like, well, how has this really impacted your life? He's like, it's just an amazing feeling knowing that I can be fired at any point in time, and I'm fine, right? Matt Forbes had said the same thing. He's like, I'm number two in my company for sales. He's like, but I could be fired at any point in time, and it wouldn't matter. He's like, yeah, I might have to lower some expenses, but I'd be fine. We'd be fine.
Right.
And it's just, you got security, the piece of it, just that peace of mind, going to bed every night knowing that my passive income exceeds my fixed expenses. Yeah, I can do so much I want in life. It's amazing. So we're getting some comments already, but I don't even see who they're saying. It's good friends and hi, gentlemen. But hello, everybody. Leave a comment. As always, every Friday we're going to do our giveaway. And if you've left a comment during nightcap or this week, to not today, do so. Give us some questions, but we have an interesting topic. What is our topic this morning?
Well, this is more for the people new to this model. People are discovering this every day, which is pretty cool. And, they discover it on Mark, you're on a lot of podcasts. I've had a lot of people recently, they discover it on Amazon, perusing books, and they run into Dirt Rich, which is pretty cool. They find us just online randomly looking for passive income opportunities. And a question that we get a lot is, given the current climate in real estate and in the world, is this a good time to get into land investing? And are there any things to be worried about?
Right, right. So I think it's a legitimate question, but the answer is there's always opportunity. Literally in any market, it's not just real estate, but there's always opportunity. It's always a good time to be buying assets, pennies on the dollar. The legitimate question, I think, is really, given that the market has risen and prices have risen, but that ratio still remains the same. So you can still buy 25, 30 cents on the dollar because the prices have gone up now. So everything's just adjusted upwards. Now, the inevitable recession is going to happen and everything will come back down. But the ratios still remain the same. So, yeah, we can't keep anything in inventory. We're trying to buy like crazy. All our clients are crushing it. Kevin Sue just got 6,000 a month passive. So,
Amazing.
It's amazing. He's like 18 years old. I don't even know how old Kevin's just started. Yeah. He still
started
coaching.
like 6 months ago, didn't he?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's not a good time. It's a great time. And you want to be a land investor? It's going to take, a good, 3 years to really move the needle. 3 years is coming either way. So either by the end of 3 years, you're going to have passive income that exceeds your fixed expenses, or you're not, kind of thing. I think that's a quote. But aloha, Dawn Peresa. It's always good to see Dawn. Jason Hoffman says, hey guys, good morning. What's up, Jason? A Facebook user says, can't wait for passive income and believe strongly that it is coming. I do too. It will. It's Racine, the Deal Machine Sugai. Good morning from Hawaii. Hi, Racine. Natalie Mino. Good morning. Hi, Natalie. So, what do you think, Scott? Do you think do you agree? We can play devil's advocate.
Well, I wholeheartedly agree, but I know now what I didn't know then, right? But, I think you're exactly right. We purchase these assets at a deep discount. So, and we teach you how to do that. There's a learning curve to figure out how to do that. We teach you how to do that. And if you purchase it at the right price, you're not going to lose money on it. As far as, the whole mindset of it, I just think it's good for people right now. And I felt this 5 years ago to kind of to position yourself. This is a great side hustle, right? This started out as a side hustle for Scott Todd. Felt like he needed to position himself more. And then he saw the power in it and just took off. Same thing for me. It started out as a side hustle. I'm hoping, okay, I can bring in some extra income into my life and feel a little bit more secure. And then 2 years into it, I replaced my income and I'm like, this could be more than that. I could literally get to the point where I have freedom to have more control in my life. So yeah, I think those are the things I think about.
Yeah, and I think for most people, it's not it's not solving their money problems, because solving money problems is pretty easy. It's solving the time. And so when you combine both, and that's what passive income does, it's pretty magical combination. It is the most magical combination. This freedom to, when you and Aaron go up to that lake, and you don't have to call HR and be like, hey, is it okay if I take off for 3 days to go live my life? It's like, it's an amazing feeling. Or not have to fight traffic anymore. Or Tate's babies got sick and he could just, take off and be a good dad and be a present dad. Didn't have to worry about, oh my gosh, what's my boss going to think that I'm taking time off? Or, okay, now, I've lost these precious, vacation days or the sick day because of my children. There's so many things to be grateful for when you have this freedom. You just see it every moment, really. It's crazy. Like today, it's my terminal day. I'm going to do whatever I want today. And yet all of my expenses will be paid by my borrowers. Because I paid the price early on to set this thing up. And now that machine just keeps growing and growing and growing and getting bigger, bigger, bigger. It's an amazing feeling, really. So I do think that there's other real estate niches, though, where it's a great time to get in. But land investing, because it's so inefficient, because it's so niche-y, all right? It's not like this. We have millions of people are doing this. It's very non-competitive. relative to everything else in real estate, I don't see why it wouldn't be a great time to jump in.
Yeah, well, and the other thing we haven't even talked about is just the the investment needed to get started. When you look at this type of passive income model versus others, it could be you could get started with this at a fraction of the cost. You could get started with this with a couple $100. You literally, because if you mail, which is the keystone of our business, the cornerstone of our business, if you mail, as Mike Zano says, you control whatever deal comes to you. And, you can spend a couple $100 on mailings, find a great deal. And you know what? If you don't have the money in your account, that's what we have our community for. And you can line up a buy.
No, yeah, absolutely. And, no, you're not going to get kicked out of the game. You're in multifamily, you're raising, $10-20 million from investors, and that deal goes belly up, you're out for 10 years.
Right.
You're toxic. No one's going to go into another deal with you. 10 years to recover from that. If you ever recover from that. You're going into house flipping. I mean, how many people have we talked to on the podcast? They were knocked out of the game in 2008. Multi-million-dollar rental portfolios just gone. They had to go,
right.
They had to short sell it all, or go BK. And then it takes years and years if they ever recover. What's the worst case scenario in our deal? You lose a couple $100. I don't know. You lose a couple $1,000, maybe.
Yeah.
You're not ever going to get knocked out of the game if you're working in our niche, for sure. Now, look, if you want to compete with the Ted Turners and the Jeff Bezos and the Warren Buffetts and buy multi-million-dollar, farmland, sure. If you overpay for it, you're not turn. Then yeah, you could get knocked out of the game, for sure. I think Paul Brewer's on. Is that Paul Brewer? Good morning, gents.
It's quite possible. I'll check
Paul,
here.
I hope you're being safe out there, for sure. Here's a Facebook user. Just got my first sale this past week. Such a good feeling. Yeah, how are the numbers on that?
That's Nathan Niedzwecki. So
Nathan.
He just started. I think he's might have just close to the end of his calls with Scott Todd in flight school. It's Andy Chen saying good morning, gents.
Oh, Andy Chen. The Simpsons. That's awesome. Andy, how are you doing, man?
Yeah, Nathan. I think Nathan, I actually read in the Mighty Networks group yesterday that he may have bought it wholesale and sold it on terms, but he got a really good return on it.
Yeah, that's great. Share your wins for the week. What were your wins? Even if it wasn't you closed a deal on this property, maybe you got your mailings out. Maybe you built up your buyers list. Maybe you tried some other marketing channel for the first time. Share your wins. Let us know. I love our community. I really do.
There's so many wins all the time. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Andy Chen. Are you sad, Andy? Last call with Scott Todd. So now he's going into office hours.
Right.
Yeah. Fantastic. What do you drink, Scott Bossman?
A dark roast, just a Starbucks dark roast ground coffee.
Really?
Boring.
Really, Scott? Really?
I know. I gotta up my coffee game. I really do.
I gotta send you some beans.
Well, I got beans. I just, I don't know. The grinder's put away. So, not put away. It's just, on the back of some stuff, and I didn't want to dig it out. So I just got the ground coffee this time. I'm lazy.
Nice. Great. Yeah, nice. So, Eric Peterson and I have the same grinder. And this Breville grinder. It's really nice. But what happens is when you put in your 3 tablespoons of beans and you grind, the things go everywhere.
Spills.
It
Yeah.
like the what is it? Like electricity, right? From the grind, so it gets really messy. We found out if you just put a little water in, it goes real
Oh,
nice and clean. It was like a game changer, as Mike Zano would say.
okay.
Yeah,
Game changer.
it's a game changer.
Good.
So, what else is going on with everybody? You and I don't have much more to talk about. Like,
For once.
for once, it's like, we're like, is it a good time to get into land investing? Yes, it is. What else should we talk about? Does anyone have any questions,
Question.
comments, wins? Type it in. I mean, right now we have 100,000 live viewers. Scott Bossman. Just kidding.
We had
We have a few
I'm
people.
trying to think who. Yeah, I know we have at least that many. I'm trying to think who it was last night on Nightcap. They had two sales yesterday. Shoot, I gotta find out who that was. But they're all in for 4K and they sold for over 12K on terms. An example of the numbers, right?
That's solid. Yeah,
Solid.
that is solid. And does everybody know, as far as terms, what their pricing should be as far as those monthly payments? Does everyone know the ratio, the rule?
I don't think they do, Mark, because that's a question that comes up in the Mighty Networks group a lot and that type of thing.
All right. Well, Caveman's got a win on second week of mailing. Way to go, Caveman.
Nice.
So let's say that you invest $2,000 into a property and you're going to sell it on terms. Then your monthly payment needs to be at least 10%. So it needs to be at least $200 a month. Based on our ratios and what we'd like to see for capital recovery. So you're going to get your money out, worst case, maybe 8 months, 10 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we want to get as big a down as possible, ideally $2,000 down. So what I like to do is ask that magical question, how much do you want to put down? They're like, oh, in the ad it said, 200 down, 200 a month. Like, yeah, I know it says that, but how much do you want to put down? Because you can pay off the note faster. We can give you a break on the interest rate if we're advertising interests. And they're like, oh, really? And so, I could give you, if you could put 2,000 down, I'll give you a 5% discount on the total price. So you start negotiating to get that bigger down. It's a stronger buyer. You get your capital out faster, redeploy it. So conversation. There's our
Love it.
coffee talk tip of the week.
Tip of the week.
Just can you imagine 2.5 days of this at boot camp? That's what you guys can get.
Yeah, exactly.
So go to landgeek.com/training, learn more about how you get 2 free tickets to boot camp in flight school, the toolkit. Do that. And if you're in flight school, you have the toolkit, you haven't registered yet, just go to landgeek.com/bootcamp. Boom.
Awesome. Yeah, I loved the last boot. Well, the last boot camp I think we had a lot more Q&A than we ever have, Mark. Don't you? We
Yeah.
had a number because we had to fill some things with the virtual time, with the virtual platform that we maybe couldn't do, or that we used to do with the real platform that we couldn't do with the virtual. So we had a lot of Q&A, and I tell you what, I don't think anybody left that weekend with a question unanswered. It was pretty awesome.
No, it is awesome. I would say that having self-awareness. So there's a big difference between the virtual and the live, because when you're live in a room, sometimes you feel shy about asking your question, because sometimes you think, oh, is this a dumb question, or I don't want Mark to bring his big mic right in my face, or do something like that. So what's nice about virtual is like you can just ask your question, and it's that shy component sort of gone. At least that's what I think. What do you think?
No, I think that's, yeah. I think for whatever reason, people are sometimes hesitant to voice their opinion or to ask questions or whatnot. And yeah, I think it's a great opportunity then for people to in a little bit more relaxed fashion get their answers and to digest everything. And I think it's a benefit for you, Mark, because big guys like me who sit there like this, we are not as intimidating because we don't, the scale.
That is true. That is true. For me, it's, the energy is definitely different. And whether it's, Scott Bossman intimidating me, Anne Marie Forbes shooting daggers. Oh my
Daggers
gosh.
at you.
Daggers at me. What did Matt bring me to? What is land investing? Who are these guys? She was a tough nut to.
She was. That was pretty funny.
I'm trying to think who I do remember. One spouse was like, she was just kind of like upfront about it. Do you remember that? Her answer was like, she's like, the only reason I'm here is because I wanted to see if you guys were real or not.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm like, well, okay.
Here we are.
Here we go. We're real. I forgot who that was.
Just a bunch of regular guys.
Yeah. She's like, you are. I just had to see for myself before I let my husband, even do this. That was funny. So we're at that point now where we're going to do our giveaway.
Yes. All right. So I have everybody's name in the hat for October. Now remember, if this is your first, if you're watching and you make a comment, you're entered into the weekly drawing, and then we do a big drawing at the end of the month. So our weekly drawing this week is lots, and I'm picking a random name now.
And for those of you that don't know what lots is, it's looking over Tate's shoulder.
And they can find info at thelandgeek.com/lots. The winner is Eric Burke.
Eric Burke! Fantastic.
Eric Burke.
Congratulations.
He just started flight school, so that's going to be a compliment to his education.
No, absolutely. Dino's like, pick me. What's up, Dino? Dino's been in the community for a long time, years and years. Always good to see him. So, Dino, how's you? Jason, congrats. Jason Hoffman.
Oh, Jason Hoffman, nice.
Yeah. So, what do you got going on the rest of the day?
I got some leaves on the lawn that we gotta get the mower out and suck up, and otherwise it's absolutely gorgeous. My son has a football game tonight. We'll work a little bit this afternoon on land, talking to a few people that are interested in Land Geek land investing. So,
all right, nice.
Or one person, yeah.
All right, great. My daughter is friends, and so it's gotten to the point now with a teenage daughter that I have to bribe her to spend time with me. So she has to have brunch with me. So I'm having a little daddy-daughter day. My son probably won't be up until for another hour and a half. And then, I'll bring him in something. He's kind of a homebody. He doesn't like to go out anyways. So then it's about, where's a COVID-safe place to go, sit outside and have brunch.
Right.
These are the problems I have to solve, Scott Bossman today. Yeah, it's not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad problems. Kevin Perning, good morning, fellas. Who is making some great deals this week? Well, I know we had some great deals. I'll tell you what. I had mixed feelings this week. We did a deal. It was a cash deal, and we made 10 grand cash. And I'm always a little ambivalent about the cash. It's like, oh great, now what do we do? Oh, we have to redeploy the cash. And then it's like, which it's not a big deal. It's just like, that was such a nice note. It was such a nice note. It's gone. But yeah, put in the chat if you're doing deals. Everybody have a great weekend. breathe in the mailing, breathe out the marketing. Thanks for joining us for Coffee Talk. Scott Bossman, I love you, man.
Love you, Mark. Thank you for everything.
Have a great, great weekend. And are we all going to do this together? 1, 2, 3. Let freedom ring.
Freedom ring.
All right.
It's good.
That's good. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you, Scott.
What's that?
Yesterday, I interviewed for the podcast, and I'm not sure when's coming out, the co-author of The One Thing, Jay Papasan. Great guy.
No kidding.
Great guy. And I didn't know this, but Gary Keller is a billionaire. Do you know that from Keller Williams? Yeah, so that was interesting. But he was a great guy, great interview. That interview is probably going to come out 2-3 months, but something to look forward to. So kind of cool.
That's really
It's
exciting.
awesome.
That's
It's always exciting to talk to, New York Times bestselling authors. Do you know how many books they've sold? Millions.
Oh, man.
I think I want to say 3 million of The One Thing. And it's interesting because I always feel like in real estate circles, we're always talking about Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and The One Thing. Is there another book out there that we're always sort of talking about when it comes to real estate and mindset?
I think the 4-hour work week, people talk about that a lot.
Okay.
The 12-week year.
12-week
That's a good
year.
one.
Yeah. But I feel like that's more us than like generally.
Yeah, it's probably
speaking.
more us.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd say those two are probably the most talked about.
All right, nice. All right, well, thanks everybody. Congratulations, and to Eric Burke. Enjoy lots, and we'll see everybody next week. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
All right.